Do you ever wonder why addiction, a condition so prevalent, remains shrouded in silence and misperception? Too often, people see addiction as a character flaw, a weakness of will, rather than what it truly is, a neurobiological disease. Imagine this. John, a successful lawyer with a loving family, finds himself spiraling into the abyss of alcohol addiction. His life begins to crumble around him, but he is too ashamed to seek help. He's afraid of the judgment, the stigma, the loss of respect, and so he suffers in silence. This is the reality for countless individuals battling addiction. They are caught in a vicious cycle where brain chemistry and societal prejudice collide. Before we delve further into the neurobiology of addiction, let's take a step back and survey the history of addiction. Addiction is not a modern phenomenon. It has been a part of human civilization since the dawn of time. From ancient cultures using psychoactive substances in religious and medicinal contexts, to the opium dens of the 19th century and the contemporary opioid crisis, addiction has evolved alongside society. Historically, societal attitudes towards addiction were punitive, often viewing it as a moral failing rather than a health issue. This view has only started to shift in the last century, as scientific advances began to reveal the complex neurobiological underpinnings of addiction. Treatment methods, too, have evolved over time. From punitive measures such as imprisonment, we have moved towards more compassionate and effective approaches, like therapy, medication, and support groups. By understanding the history of addiction, we can shed light on its complexity and the need for a multifaceted approach in addressing it. This historical context helps us see addiction not as a character flaw, but as a chronic disease that requires our understanding, compassion, and dedicated effort to combat. When addictive substances enter the body, they don't just affect behavior, they alter the very structure and function of the brain. They manipulate the reward pathways, leading to profound changes and a relentless pursuit of substances, despite the destructive consequences. This isn't about weak willpower, it's about powerful chemical changes that disrupt normal decision-making, impulse control, and even create intense cravings. Voiceover. Addiction isn't just a physical issue, it's deeply intertwined with our psychology. Many factors can contribute to addiction, including trauma, stress, anxiety, depression, and other mental health disorders. These conditions can create a vulnerability to addiction, turning substances into a dangerous form of self-medication. Substance use can become a coping mechanism for emotional pain, a way to numb feelings or escape from reality. This cycle creates a powerful psychological bond between the individual and the substance, a bond that can be as hard to break as the physical addiction itself. Therapy and psychological support play a critical role in addiction recovery. Cognitive behavioral therapy, for example, can help individuals understand their triggers, develop healthier coping strategies, and rebuild their self-esteem. In essence, addressing the psychological aspects of addiction is not just beneficial, but crucial for effective treatment. Remember, addiction doesn't define a person. It's a complex condition that intertwines with our biology and psychology. By understanding this, we can approach addiction with empathy, compassion, and the right tools to promote healing. The stigma surrounding addiction carries a heavy burden. It breeds shame and self-blame, leading to isolation and despair. It creates barriers to treatment, with people often delaying or avoiding help for fear of repercussions. Even within our healthcare systems, unconscious biases exist that can reduce the quality of care for patients battling addiction. And then there are the strained relationships. Loved ones, often lacking understanding, may unintentionally enable destructive behaviors, further driving the wedge of addiction deeper. But there is hope. There are pathways to change. Language matters. By switching our vocabulary, we can shift focus from labels to the underlying medical condition. Instead of addict, we say person with a substance use disorder. This small change can make a big difference. Education is key. By raising awareness and providing science-based information, we can challenge misconceptions and promote understanding. By sharing stories of hope and recovery, we can break down the walls of stigma and show that a meaningful life beyond addiction is not only possible but achievable. It's time to rehumanize addiction. Remember, these are individuals deserving of respect and support. They are not merely statistics or stereotypes, but people with dreams, hopes, and lives that matter. The journey to address addiction-related stigma is not an easy one, but it is a necessary one. It's a journey that needs empathy, understanding, and action. So, educate yourself, educate others, advocate for change. Let's illuminate the reality of addiction, shatter the stigma, and offer a lifeline to those who suffer in silence. After all, in understanding, there is hope. As we look to the future, the landscape of addiction treatment is evolving. Personalized medicine, a medical model that proposes the customization of healthcare, is paving the way for groundbreaking treatment strategies. This approach considers an individual's genetic makeup, environmental factors, and lifestyle in order to develop a unique, tailored treatment plan. Technology, too, is playing a pivotal role in this evolution. Digital tools, such as mobile apps and online support groups, are providing accessible, round-the-clock support for those in recovery. These platforms are not only bridging geographical gaps, but also creating safe spaces for open dialogue and mutual support. But the key to unlocking the full potential of these advancements lies in continued research and innovation. By driving forward studies on addiction and recovery, we can better understand its complexities and devise effective strategies to combat it. With every new finding, every innovative tool, and every personalized treatment, we are inching closer towards a future where addiction is not a life sentence, but a manageable condition. The future of addiction treatment is promising, and it is up to us to seize these opportunities for change.